The endless ringing of precautionary warnings and air raid sirens began mid-June 1945. I was 6 years old at the time and could not sleep without the reassurance that my air raid hood was beside me. That evil siren rang just as I was waking up on morning of August 9th. I heard my grandmother's tense voice calling, "It's the air raid siren. We must get to the mountains." We made our way to the air raid shelters in Tateyama-machi. They were directly behind where the Nagasaki Junior High School now stands, and 2.4 kilometers from the hypocenter. However, the enemy planes did not come. A voice cried out, "All clear." Many civilians and children dashed out from the shelters. At that moment, the B-29 bomber that was carrying the atomic bomb had infiltrated Nagasaki airspace. I just returned home. My next-door neighbor, Tommy, yelled from outside, "Mia, let's go play." And in that instant, there was a flash in the sky. I have no recollection of anything after that. I don't remember what happened. A while later, I was rescued out from beneath our floorboards. Tommy, who had called to me from outside, was not injured. However, she suddenly passed away after having become a mother. A single blast stopped humans from being humans. Even if they did somehow survive, many atomic bomb survivors or hibakusha lost their lives when symptoms of radiation disease suddenly appeared later on. I was fine. However, I lost my little granddaughter, a third-generation hibakusha. I couldn't help but sorrowfully agonize over whether she would still be alive if I myself had not been a hibakusha. Humans are powerless against the invisible radiation that was brought by the atomic bomb. Now I'm determined that we must eliminate these inhumane nuclear weapons from the face of the earth as soon as possible. In order for us to achieve this, the speedy realization of a nuclear weapons convention is essential. Japan, the only country to have suffered a nuclear bombing, has a duty to be a world leader and to stand at the forefront. However, is the government of Japan fulfilling that role? Doesn't the approval of collective self-defense say that the use of military force will create peace for Japanese nationals? Please stop exporting weapons. They lead to war. History has proven that. Please do not threaten our young people and children who will shoulder Japan's future. Please do not forget the suffering of the hibakusha or pretend that the atomic bomb never happened. In Fukushima, there are those who still cannot return home due to radioactive contamination from the nuclear accident. They have no choice but to live in temporary housing or to evacuate elsewhere. There are children and their families who are suffering because they have been told that their child has thyroid cancer. Under those circumstances, is it really acceptable that we restart nuclear operations? After all, we still do not know how to dispose of nuclear waste. Instead, we should be looking into decommissioning of the nuclear reactors as quickly as possible. As survivors, we hibakusha are using what remaining time we have left to desperately pass on our experiences of exposure to nuclear weapons. Even first-year elementary school children and nursery school children listen carefully to what we have to say. We speak from the bottom of our hearts with the reasoning that we must not send these children to the battlefield or involve them in the horrors of war. Citizens of Nagasaki and people of the world, draw close to the hearts of the hibakusha and pass on the truth of exposure to nuclear weapons so that we never again repeat such foolish actions. Let us together seek true peace for action. As a hibakusha, I make a pledge for peace that as long as I have strength, I shall continue to pass on my experiences.